From Caesar's bloody betrayal to the fall of empires, these stories remind us of the fragility of trust and the devastating consequences of broken loyalty. Let's start in ancient Rome, a society built on ambition, power, and, unfortunately, a whole lot of backstabbing. We're talking, of course, about the assassination of Julius Caesar. Caesar, a military genius, brought Rome to the height of its power but had enemies who whispered in the shadows. In 44 BC, those whispers turned into shouts, then into the clang of steel. Imagine the Ides of March, a day etched in infamy. Caesar, unaware of the plot, enters the Senate, surrounded by men he considers friends. Among them is Marcus Junius Brutus, a man Caesar trusted, mentored, maybe even loved like a son. Brutus delivers the most devastating blow, piercing not just Caesar's flesh but also the very idea of loyalty. Caesar's death sent shockwaves through Rome, triggering a power vacuum that plunged the Republic into chaos and civil war. Fast forward to 18th century America, a time of revolution and ideals. The American colonies were in the throes of a struggle for independence, fighting against the British Empire for their freedom and the right to self-govern. It was a period marked by great sacrifice, heroism, and the birth of a new nation. Enter Benedict Arnold, a name synonymous with treachery, yet once celebrated as a patriot. Arnold's early contributions to the American cause were nothing short of heroic. He was a man who went from hero to villain in the blink of an eye, a transformation that shocked the nation. At the start of the American Revolution, Arnold was a rising star, a brilliant military strategist who won crucial victories. His leadership at the Battle of Saratoga was instrumental in securing a pivotal win for the American forces. Arnold's tactical genius and bravery on the battlefield earned him the admiration of his peers and the gratitude of a fledgling nation. However, his story took a dark turn, but beneath the surface, resentment festered. Arnold felt overlooked, underappreciated, and slighted by his superiors. His contributions were often overshadowed by others, and he grew increasingly bitter. Driven by a thirst for recognition and a hefty sum of money, Arnold hatched a plan with the British to hand over West Point, a key strategic fortification. His betrayal was motivated by a complex mix of personal grievances and financial incentives. The capture of West Point would have been a devastating blow to the American cause, potentially altering the course of the war. It was a gamble that could have changed history, but Arnold's scheme unraveled when his British contact, Major John Andre, was captured carrying incriminating documents. The plot was exposed and Arnold's treachery was laid bare for all to see. Forced to flee to the British lines, Arnold lived out his days branded a traitor. He was welcomed by the British but never fully trusted, living a life of infamy and regret. The betrayal of Benedict Arnold serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even in the fight for freedom, the allure of power and greed can corrupt. His story is a stark example of how personal ambition can undermine even the noblest of causes. Chapter 3. The Night of the Long Knives, Hitler's Purge. Our journey through history's darkest betrayals takes us to 1934, to a night of terror that would forever stain the Nazi regime. This was a time when Germany was already under the iron grip of Adolf Hitler, a period marked by political unrest and social upheaval. The country was on the brink of transformation, but few could have predicted the extent of the violence that was about to unfold. Hitler, already in control of Germany, unleashes a wave of violence against his own people, a purge known as the Night of the Long Knives. This was not just a political maneuver, but a brutal crackdown that sent shockwaves through the nation. Hitler's speeches, filled with vitriol and menace, had set the stage for this horrifying event. The victims were not enemies of the state, but members of the Sturmabteilung, the SA, the Nazi Party's paramilitary wing. These were men who had once been Hitler's staunch supporters, now deemed too powerful and too independent for his liking. The SA had played a crucial role in Hitler's rise to power, but their loyalty was no longer enough to guarantee their safety. Led by Ernst Röhm, the SA had grown too powerful for Hitler's liking. Röhm, a close ally and friend of Hitler, had ambitions that threatened Hitler's absolute control. His vision for the SA clashed with Hitler's plans, making him a target in this deadly purge. On June 30th, 1934, Hitler's SS, his elite guard, fanned out across Germany, executing members of the SA leadership, including Röhm. The SS, loyal only to Hitler, carried out these orders with ruthless efficiency. ensuring that no one who posed a threat to Hitler's power would survive. The purge lasted for days, leaving hundreds dead. The streets of Germany bore witness to the aftermath of this brutal crackdown, with bodies discovered in the wake of the violence. The nation was left in a state of shock and fear as the true extent of Hitler's ruthlessness became apparent. The Night of the Long Knives solidified Hitler's grip on power, eliminating rivals and silencing dissent. This event marked a turning point in Nazi Germany as Hitler's authority became unchallenged. The consolidation of power was swift and brutal, leaving no room for opposition. The betrayal was cold, calculated, and utterly ruthless, a chilling reminder of the depths of depravity to which power can sink. It serves as a stark example of how absolute power can corrupt absolutely, leading to acts of unimaginable cruelty and treachery. Chapter 4: The Fallen Queen Anne Boleyn and the Heart of a King. Our exploration of betrayal takes us to Tudor England, a time of intrigue, political machinations, and a king obsessed with securing his legacy. The Tudor period was marked by dramatic shifts in power, religious upheaval, and the relentless pursuit of dynastic stability. Anne Boleyn, a woman of remarkable charm and wit, captured the heart of King Henry VIII. She was not just a passive figure, but an active player in the court's political games, only to become another victim of his insatiable ambition and the treacherous court politics. Intelligent and fiercely independent, Anne demanded to be queen, and Henry, desperate for a male heir, defied the Pope to marry her. Their union was a bold statement against the Catholic Church, leading to the English Reformation and the establishment of the Church of England. Anne's rise to power was meteoric and controversial, stirring envy and animosity among the courtiers. However, her position became untenable when she failed to produce a son, a crucial requirement for securing the Tudor dynasty's future. Accusations of adultery, incest, and witchcraft swirled around Anne, charges most historians believe were fabricated to remove her from power. These accusations were part of a larger plot orchestrated by her enemies at court. Henry turned on Anne with shocking swiftness, driven by his desire to remarry and his growing frustration over the lack of a male heir. The speed and ruthlessness of his actions left many in the court stunned. In 1536, Anne Boleyn was found guilty by a kangaroo court and condemned to death. Her execution at the Tower of London was a grim spectacle, witnessed by many who had once been her allies. Anne's story is a tragic reminder of the fickle nature of power and the dangers of ambition. Her life and death continue to captivate historians and the public alike, serving as a poignant example of the perils faced by those who dare to challenge the status quo. Chapter 5: The Fall of Constantinople, an Empire Lost. For our final act of betrayal, we travel to 1453, to the grand city of Constantinople, the jewel of the Byzantine Empire. Constantinople was a bastion of Christianity and a thorn in the side of the Ottoman Empire. Mehmed II, the ambitious young Sultan of the Ottomans, set his sights on Constantinople. The siege was an epic clash of civilizations, a brutal struggle between two powerful forces. The Ottomans bombarded the city walls, while the Byzantines fought with courage and tenacity. But as the siege dragged on, despair gripped the defenders. On May 29, 1453, Ottoman forces stormed through a gate left unlocked, sealing the fate of the city. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the rise of Ottoman dominance. Betrayal is a timeless tale, one that continues to haunt, teach, and inspire. The betrayals we've explored today are just a glimpse into the dark side of human nature. Which betrayal shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating historical stories.